everyone, it's Lindsay from My Crafty Plans. Welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome. Today I am going to be setting up my February goals in my MakseLife planner. So it is time to break down my annual / quarterly goals for the month of February. I had a really great January and I'm so excited to dive into February. For this month, I am doing things a little bit differently. First of all, my next video after this is going to be a monthly reset vlog. It's going to be a super fun video where I just go through all of the things that I kind of do at the end of the month to get ready for the next month. And in that video, I will share my February calendar setup, which I've already done, plus all of the other calendars that I use around the house, my Kaleidoscope living calendar, our meal planning calendar, and some other things. I even did a bathroom reset to like tackle one decluttering project each month. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be my next video up after that if you're interested in seeing it. But for today, we're just going to focus on goals. I've also already done my reflections for January. I will pop a picture of that in right now. I did that on the MakseLife digital planner, so you can take a look at that. I'll be sharing some insights with that as I go through my goals, but just so that you can see the spread, I popped a picture in. And then lastly, this is actually going to be a voiceover video this time. I'm recovering from getting sick and I've already been talking a lot today, and I just really want to focus on my handwriting and getting everything out on the page while I actually plan. So I'm going to use a voiceover to walk you through everything, and we can chat about my goals and how I'm coming up with them and all of those good things. So if all of that sounds good, just go ahead and stay tuned. So while I jump in with the deco base, I'm going to go over some of the highlights from my monthly reflections, which I showed you that spread before. But I also just wanted to say sorry for this video being up a little bit late. I actually did finish this one on time. I'm definitely still getting used to an editing schedule, and eventually I will be posting 2 videos per week. I'm just, kind of working my way back to that. But anyways, I had this all filmed, edited, and was waiting to record the voiceover, and I completely lost my voice. So I had to wait for my voice to come back. And then apologies also if my voice sounds a little bit scratchy still. Definitely still recovering, although I feel so much better now. I am really just absolutely loving my combination of digital and physical planners so far this year. Like the mix of Notion plus the physical MakseLife planner for functional planning has been really well. And then the mix of writing out my goals, I still get so much out of that experience, but then being able to do all of the journaling and reflections digitally, which I just feel like it makes me feel so much less self-conscious about it, and it's just a lot faster. I can just kind of pour my thoughts out and not worry about the handwriting or the artistic nature of it or even the colors or highlighting. I'm just really loving that right now. It's just allowing me to focus on the journaling. And then when I want to do something a little bit more artistic, I've actually got out my Archer and Olive notebook like multiple times this year and done like a more artistic journaling style spread, which has also been so nice because that was on my goals from last year, and I literally did like one spread the whole year, and I've already done so much more than that, and it's only January. I am feeling just like I'm in such a good space and was in such a good space in January mentally, and then also just like actually getting things done and being productive and taking advantage of some unexpected free time that I have to like really work on some of the things in my goals, which is great. I gave myself an 8 overall for the month at the bottom of the reflection spread. I think it honestly would have been higher, except for that there was just so much illness and like so many external factors that just kind of did not go my way, which tis the season, it's that time of year, and that's totally fine. I think I did a really great job handling that, and you can't really ask for more than that. Those external things are always going to be going on. It's life, but you can only really control how you react to that, and I do think that I was on top of my stuff this month. My biggest win for the month was definitely getting to bed on time. I hit this almost every day of the month. Not quite every day, but even the days where I did miss, I was only like 15 minutes over rather than just staying up for like hours and hours after bedtime, which I was totally doing at the end of the year. This has been something that I've struggled with for months, and I don't know, that mindset refresh, like prioritizing that sleep, and then also the app on my phone and my iPad that I've been using, which is called Opal. It's a free screen time lock app. It does have a paid version. I've not used the paid version. You just have to click out of the ads. But anyway, I basically just lock my entire iPad out at night and my phone, and then I actually have been using that lock during the day as well. I've spoken about this before. It has been a real game changer for me in January, so definitely loving that app, and yeah, I did such a great job job with bedtime. Not unsurprisingly, I have so much more energy right now than I had at the end of the year, and that is, I mean, some of it I think is just because like I'm excited again about things, but some of it is also definitely because I'm sleeping much better and getting to bed on time. So like, shocking, sleep helps. I know, it's a real lesson there. Anyway, I also did a really great job of capitalizing on that January energy, the New Year energy. I really feel like I got a really strong start to my goals, and I am so obsessed with Notion right now, and I love the Notion dashboard that I built and all of the pages that I've been building in there. I've also really been using them a lot, which is really helpful. So yeah, that was definitely another win for me. Things that are currently working in my life, as I said, the energy level, doing so well. The Opal screen lock, can't speak highly enough about just locking myself out of things on my iPad. I've also been doing a really great job with walking and going to my class passes, like signing up for exercise classes and going to them, which was also a struggle for me at the end of last year. I did miss some while I was sick, and this week it's going to be really important for me to like jump back into it now that I'm feeling better, because I'm ending the month with like skipping some days because I wasn't feeling well, which is totally fine. But as long as I get back to it, we can still count that as like a good win for the beginning of the year. That's also a really good first test too, because it is like the first time that I have hit a snag, and then I can, as long as I can bounce back from it, then that is, that's really what we want to be able to do, to bounce back when things don't go so well. We are having some real homework struggles with the kids in the things that are not going so well. The kids like just do not want to do their homework, which I get it, but also like homework not optional. So we're working on some new strategies for that to kind of hopefully gamify things, and you're going to see some stuff in my February goals about that. Also, just like editing and content, I've really not hit a good stride there, so I do want to work on that as well, but also still respecting that, that is not where I want to be spending the bulk of my time. I want to share in a way that feels like good and happy, and not get like so hyper focused on it, like kind of like how I was not last year, but the year before that. Then in my gratitude section, I just wrote like an ode to the last 15 minutes of my morning routine. I'm trying to like be a little bit more creative with the gratitude sections of the various planners. Like I'm always grateful for those things like family and home and security and, the kids, my husband, all of those things. But I'm trying to be like a little bit more inventive with how I express gratitude in my journaling, and like highlight different areas of my life or smaller things, and really just like feel the joy in that. So the last 15 minutes of my morning routine is by far the most peaceful time of my day, and I love it. I loved sharing my morning routine in that YouTube video. But yeah, so I just wrote kind of like a little piece about how wonderful that quiet time of day is. And then for next month, I really just kind of want to focus on the same things, but with the added acknowledgement that February, I have a committed work project, a very large committed work project, and I'm going to be a lot more busy with work. So kind of using the skills that I've built in January, and then really focusing on that balance that is my main keyword for the year, my main theme for the year, and trying to find a good balance between getting my work stuff done in a timely fashion and also having time to do other things, and that is what I'm going to be focusing on. So with that long preamble, let's dive into my goals, which I've already started here. I started with the fun and recreation category. It's just been very much on my mind because we are about to be in birthday season. If you don't know, all three of my kids have their birthdays within a little bit less than a month of each other, and that starts at the end of February and runs through kind of like mid-late March. And yeah, we don't know what we're doing. I really do not want to deal with it, but I kind of have to. So we got to plan out like the party and the celebrations. We're gonna try something a little bit different this year. So that is going on my goals for the month, and I kind of did all of that stuff to the left-hand side. And then the right-hand side, we just have some trips coming up. We've got our trip that is booked for February, so making sure we enjoy that. Then I want to work on planning our trip for spring break, which was on my January goals, but I didn't get to, so that is being carried over. And then just regular stuff that we always do, making sure we've got weekend plans, activities, etc. And that rounds out the fun and recreation category. Next, in the work and learning category, I really just have like one goal here, and that's just this is my first big work project of the year, so I need to be working on that and focused on that. But I want to use all of the skills that I've been talking about, that I journaled all about in my annual goals, all the project planning skills I have, scheduling, internal deadlines, time blocking, whatever I need to manage my workflow, make sure that my project is getting done on time, that I'm staying on top of the analysts that I need to work with, because I am like the lead on this project, but I have access to some junior analysts that are helping me, which is fantastic. So staying on top of all of that stuff, my schedule, their schedule, etc. And then also just trying to do my work on time. I have enough time to do this project in a way that it doesn't completely take over my life. But if I spend the next 2 weeks doing nothing related to work and working on other things, then the 2 weeks after that is going to be all work and nothing related to the rest of my life, and that's what I don't want to do. So making sure that I'm pacing myself, working a good schedule so that I'm able to kind of work and do other things at the same time. Then I also decided to use ChatGPT and Pi to help me come up with some mantras in some of my goals categories for this month. I got this idea from Sarah, who works for MakseLife. In one of the Club Moxie videos, like meetups that we had early in the year, she showed her annual goals and she had like mantras in each of the categories. I loved it. I thought that was so cool. I didn't do it in every category, but I did put one in here. I just like fed into ChatGPT, or I think I was actually using Pi because it was on my phone, which is just like another free AI app that you can put on your phone. And I just like fed it some information and asked it for some short mantras. And so this one I have: plan your work and work your plan. And that is my game plan for work and learning for the month of February. Still working on the easier to plan categories right now. So I jumped to the other page and went to financial. This month I want to just set up that new monthly financial tracker that I had mentioned before. It's just like a little bit of an upgrade on the way we track all of the same monthly stuff that I was tracking all last year, but not relying so much on that Rocket Money website because it keeps breaking and it's just not my favorite website. So building out some of those tools into Excel myself. So like spending a couple of hours making something that will last me the whole year and really just end up, saving me time in the long run. So want to work on that. And then also just gathering tax documents as they come in. I will not be filing my taxes or working on my taxes until April. We are people who like to wait till the last minute. The government does not need an interest-free loan from us, and we will be waiting until April to file our taxes. But as the documents come in, I do want to gather them and put them in their proper folders so that I have them when I need them. In the physical environment category, I have 2 goals for this month. One has like some sub goals that I've listed out, and that's just we're working on the living room project. All of our new furniture is here, so I have some next steps for that to get it more styled and decorated, and I am actually so excited for that right now. My husband and I were actually brainstorming this morning, so very excited for that. And then my other goal is to work on the home maintenance calendar, the deep cleaning schedule, the other needs kind of list and resources and all of that, get that all set up in Notion. That's actually the last thing that I need to work on in my Notion setup before I'm going to consider it like finished for the year. I mean, I obviously plan to live in it and use it throughout the year, but that was the only piece of things that I didn't quite get to in January, so I do want to prioritize working on that. You'll see in my next video after this one, I've decided to tackle like kind of one decluttering or deep cleaning project a month when I do my monthly reset. I started with the master bathroom. I'm really happy with that, but I do want to make a schedule for that for the whole year, kind of like in advance, and also just some other things that I've been thinking about with regards to deep cleaning and regular maintenance, and make sure that that all gets scheduled into the calendar and everything so that I'm really staying on top of that as well. Then up in the health and wellness category, I want to continue walking on our walking pad or outside 2 to 3 times per week. I will take this outside more as the weather goes up, although actually who knows, because I've really been enjoying just like watching YouTube videos while I'm doing that, and obviously I can't do that outside, although I can listen to a podcast, and generally speaking I do enjoy being outside. I feel like that's a real mood lifter. Anyway, that's where I was at before I got sick. I had started at 2 times a week and had upped it to 3, so I'd like to get back to that 3 times per week, and then also attend at least 1 class pass per week, so 1 exercise class, either spinning or Pilates, usually spinning, but I would like to add back in the Pilates as well. It's just that those are so hard to schedule. Anyway, other than that, I've got kind of my regular routines in this category. Really want to keep honoring that bedtime routine, keep hitting my skincare and dental care self-care routine. Both of those I've been doing really well with as well. And obviously the bedtime was like a huge win for me this month. So continue to work and utilize those so that I feel my best. In the family and relationships category, this was another one where I really felt like I could use a mantra, and I actually wanted to put this first in my goals. It kind of like it just kind of makes the whole theme for what I'm feeling in this category right now. So I used again the AI app to help me create that, and what it says is, patience is the key to understanding, and understanding is the key to guidance. I really, really like that, and I really need to work on my patience with the kids in frustrating situations, especially related to homework and reading and academics and that kind of stuff. And just like, try my best, take a deep breath, try and really be patient and mindful about how I am like speaking to the kids and expressing myself and all of those things. So that is really going to be at the front of my mind, and hopefully I can just kind of keep repeating that to myself and make homework time a little bit less stressful. We've got some other like actual tools that we are going to use as well. And then one for that, my oldest daughter, and I worked with these on with my kids to create these tools. So I have 2 goals, one for each of my 2 oldest children, and they helped me write these goals so that they were like kind of involved with how we want to handle it, because they also know that it's not going well, right? So one for my oldest, for my daughter, she asked to have like a routine and behavior tracker and receive kind of a reward for doing things the way she's supposed to without, complaining about it and without fighting about it, etc. And then for my son, who is like, my kids are so different from each other personality wise and like focus wise and everything. So I don't think that the same kind of things necessarily, just because something works for one doesn't mean it's going to work for the other. So my son, actually, he is like a little bit more internally motivated than my daughter is. And they have this reading chart that they use from school, and he in January came really close to like being able to fill in every bubble. It's got more than 1 bubble per day, so it was a lot. Although he did a lot of it with math, which he much strongly prefers to reading, which, it's something that makes me feel bad, even though I do really like reading. I'm just such a math person as well. Anyway, he really wants to fill out every single bubble in February. And so like I explained to him, that means that especially in the beginning of the month, he's going to have to do more than one like 15-minute block a day to achieve that. So he's committed to kind of working on that. So I'm going to help him work on that as well. I guess that's actually not that different than what my oldest daughter selected, because it is still like a tracker. I don't know why it feels kind of different. But anyway, we will be using these trackers to help stay motivated when it comes to like homework and reading throughout the month. Then in the spiritual and personal growth category, we've got another mantra. And this one I actually wanted to just kind of encompass all of my goals and my whole life and be like the main mantra for the month. I kind of like, I'm really resonating with this category this year, which is surprising. It used to be like my least favorite category, but I've been kind of using this category to just like ground all of my goals for the year, because my word of the year is balance, and that is something that I strongly associate with this. And so far, my word of the year is like really sticking with me, really resonating with me. I've been putting it on everything, using it in my goals, like really focusing on that word this year. So I've written, balance is not something you find, it's something you create, and that is what we are working on here. Then in terms of actual goals for this category, I just want to journal 3 times per week. I'm taking the time component out of it that was in last month. I have mostly not been journaling at night, which I was doing at the end of the year, and I had kind of written into my goals to keep doing that as part of my bedtime routine, but now I've actually been doing it a lot more in the morning or in like the kind of late lunchtime period as just like a break from the rest of my day, and that's been going really well. So I've just decided to completely remove the time component. As long as it happens, it doesn't really matter when, and it is something that I'm really enjoying. And again, I've been mostly using the iPad for that. I also, as like a kind of a subset of that, want to try and do something creative 2 times per week. That can be in my planner or elsewhere, just anything, like art, creating, writing, stickering, whatever I want to do. I've actually been writing a little bit lately for fun. I write a lot for work, so I kind of stopped writing for fun for a while, but now I'm kind of back in that as well. So just anything creative and artistic whatever that means to me 2 times per week. And that can be part of journaling or part of planning or something completely separate. And then finally, in the personal category, this is often the last category I write because it's kind of just like a catch-all for all of the other things and organization in my life. I've got 3 goals in this category, and I just went ahead and like wrote them out in bullet points, but use my planners, calendars, and Notion frequently to help manage my schedule, to-dos, and life. Just kind of expanding on that, what plan consistently means from January. It's been going really well and just want to keep it going. Then for 2, continue building out and documenting helpful routines and systems. I did start on my routine documentation process, the process of like actually physically journaling that out, and then also sharing it with you here on YouTube and other places as well. So just want to continue working on that. That was another thing that was on my January goals that I didn't quite get to finish in January. So carrying that over and forward with me into February as well. And then in the 3rd one there, I just want to devote some time to content planning and establishing a better editing routine. I feel like I've filmed so much footage and I'm so behind on editing. I just need to figure out like a better workflow. That way I can keep producing the content that I love and also just like not feel so overwhelmed like editing, and I don't want to feel like I'm late, even though obviously I know like these are all internal deadlines, but internal deadlines are important and I am trying to honor them throughout my life. So, here's no different. So I really just kind of want to devote a little bit of time to kind of play around with what works here and spend some time planning things out. All right, that is my goals all finished up. I love how this looks. I love my goals. Really excited to try out some of these mantras in there. So I am going to tuck my quarterly goals back where I have been keeping them, which I usually can feel the page. Yeah, the pocket makes it really easy to feel the page. I will just say I absolutely love having the quarterly goals. I think if you were using companion notebooks and now you're in the flagship, it's really, really helpful because I can have that open. I didn't even look at my annual goals once while I was setting this up. I was just working off my quarterly goals and the notes on my iPad. So I did find that extremely helpful. But that is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed setting goals with me this February. Let me know something you're going to be working on in February down in the comments below. How are your goals going so far this year? Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram and TikTok at MyCraftyPlans for even more, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.